In this podcast episode, Joe Rogan welcomes attorney Josh Dubin, who has dedicated his career to advocating for criminal justice reform and helping wrongfully convicted individuals. The conversation dives deep into various topics, including the complexities of the legal system, the impact of mental health on incarcerated individuals, and the societal implications of crime and punishment. The episode begins with a discussion about the unfortunate events surrounding the case of Sheldon Johnson, a man who was recently released from prison after serving decades for a crime he did not commit. After being brought into the public eye through Dubin's advocacy, Johnson was later implicated in a gruesome murder, which shocked both Dubin and Rogan. Dubin emphasizes the importance of the presumption of innocence and the need for a fair trial, noting that while the evidence against Johnson appears damning, it is crucial to remember that he has not yet been convicted. Rogan and Dubin reflect on the media's role in sensationalizing Johnson's case, which has led to public outrage and scrutiny. Dubin expresses his feelings of guilt and responsibility as he had previously championed Johnson's cause. He acknowledges the complexities of the criminal justice system, where individuals can be released only to find themselves in dire situations again. This case serves as a reminder of the challenges faced by those who have been incarcerated and the societal expectations placed upon them upon their release. As the conversation progresses, Dubin highlights the critical need for mental health support for individuals who have been incarcerated. He discusses how long-term imprisonment can lead to severe psychological issues, making it difficult for individuals to reintegrate into society. Dubin argues that mental health counseling should be a fundamental part of the rehabilitation process, as many individuals in the prison system suffer from trauma and mental health disorders that go untreated. Rogan and Dubin explore the stigma surrounding mental health, particularly within the African American community. Dubin emphasizes that seeking help should not be viewed as a weakness, but rather as a necessary step toward healing. He shares his experiences in advocating for mental health resources for his clients, stressing that addressing mental health is essential for reducing recidivism rates and helping individuals lead productive lives after incarceration. The discussion shifts to the potential benefits of psychedelic therapy for individuals suffering from PTSD and other mental health issues. Dubin argues that psychedelics could play a significant role in rehabilitation, particularly for veterans and those who have experienced trauma in prison. He believes that changing one's perspective through therapeutic means can lead to profound healing and personal growth. Rogan agrees, noting that the stigma surrounding psychedelics has hindered research and acceptance of their therapeutic potential. He points out that many people are unaware of the positive effects psychedelics can have on mental health, and he advocates for further exploration of these treatments within the medical community. Both Rogan and Dubin express hope that as more research emerges, society will begin to embrace these alternative therapies as legitimate options for healing. Throughout the podcast, Dubin shares his insights into the systemic failures of the criminal justice system. He discusses how wrongful convictions often stem from a lack of resources, inadequate legal representation, and prosecutorial misconduct. Dubin emphasizes that many individuals are trapped in a cycle of incarceration due to circumstances beyond their control, such as poverty and lack of access to quality legal counsel. Rogan and Dubin also touch on the issue of mass incarceration in the United States, highlighting the disproportionate impact on marginalized communities. Dubin argues that the system is designed to punish rather than rehabilitate, leading to a revolving door of incarceration. He calls for comprehensive reform to address these systemic issues and ensure that individuals are treated fairly and justly within the legal system. As the conversation continues, Dubin underscores the importance of advocacy in the fight for criminal justice reform. He shares stories of individuals he has helped exonerate and the impact that advocacy can have on their lives. Dubin believes that raising awareness about wrongful convictions and the flaws in the system is crucial for driving change and ensuring that justice is served. Rogan expresses admiration for Dubin's dedication to his work, noting that it takes immense courage to stand up against the system. Dubin encourages listeners to get involved in advocacy efforts, whether through volunteering, donating, or simply educating themselves about the issues at hand. He believes that collective action can lead to meaningful change and that everyone has a role to play in the fight for justice. The discussion shifts to the media's influence on public perception of crime and justice. Dubin and Rogan discuss how sensationalized reporting can distort the truth and create fear within communities. Dubin argues that the media often focuses on the most extreme cases, leading to a skewed understanding of crime and its causes. Rogan points out that the media's portrayal of individuals involved in the criminal justice system can have lasting effects on their lives, even after they have been exonerated. Dubin emphasizes the need for responsible journalism that accurately represents the complexities of each case, rather than reducing individuals to mere headlines. He believes that a more nuanced approach to reporting can help foster understanding and empathy for those affected by the system. As the conversation progresses, Dubin shares the challenges faced by individuals reintegrating into society after incarceration. He discusses the stigma associated with having a criminal record and how it can hinder individuals from finding employment, housing, and support. Dubin emphasizes that these barriers can lead to recidivism, as individuals struggle to rebuild their lives in a system that often fails to provide the necessary resources. Rogan and Dubin explore the importance of community support in helping individuals successfully reintegrate. Dubin believes that creating a supportive environment can make a significant difference in an individual's ability to thrive after incarceration. He advocates for programs that provide job training, mental health support, and mentorship to help individuals navigate the challenges they face upon release. The podcast also delves into the case of the Ohio Four, a group of men wrongfully convicted based on unreliable witness testimony. Dubin shares the details of their case, highlighting the flaws in the investigation and the lack of forensic evidence. He emphasizes that the sole eyewitness later recanted his testimony, revealing that he had fabricated the story for financial gain. Rogan expresses disbelief at the systemic failures that allowed these men to be convicted despite the lack of credible evidence. Dubin calls for public awareness and advocacy to help exonerate the Ohio Four, urging listeners to get involved and support their cause. He believes that shining a light on these injustices is essential for driving change within the criminal justice system. Throughout the episode, Dubin advocates for systemic reform within the criminal justice system. He argues that the current system is designed to punish rather than rehabilitate, leading to a cycle of incarceration that disproportionately affects marginalized communities. Dubin emphasizes the need for comprehensive changes to address these issues and ensure that individuals are treated fairly and justly. Rogan and Dubin discuss the importance of public awareness and advocacy in driving reform. Dubin believes that by educating the public about the flaws in the system, individuals can work together to create meaningful change. He encourages listeners to get involved in advocacy efforts and support organizations that are working to reform the criminal justice system. The discussion shifts to the role of technology in advocacy and the potential it has to amplify voices and raise awareness. Dubin highlights the importance of social media in spreading information about wrongful convictions and criminal justice reform. He believes that technology can be a powerful tool for mobilizing support and creating change. Rogan and Dubin discuss the challenges and opportunities presented by technology in the advocacy space. While social media can be a double-edged sword, Dubin emphasizes that it has the potential to connect individuals and organizations working toward a common goal. He encourages listeners to leverage technology to raise awareness and support for causes they believe in. As the podcast comes to a close, Dubin emphasizes the importance of hope in the fight for justice. He believes that by sharing stories of resilience and triumph, individuals can inspire others to believe in the possibility of change. Dubin encourages listeners to remain hopeful and to continue advocating for those who have been wrongfully convicted. Rogan expresses his admiration for Dubin's dedication to his work and the impact he has had on the lives of others. He believes that by shining a light on these issues, Dubin is helping to create a more just and equitable society.